Autofaze. On this video, we're gonna get the Ws6 up and running again. Imagine this, it's Friday night, you just got off, you just want to go and get a nice burger and ice cream with your wife, you take the hot rod to Culver's, and before you know it, the thing's overheating. We got our burger, but we did not get to enjoy it. Literally let it cool down, moved it, I'd say maybe 50 feet, overheated again, got up to what was it, 260, turned it off. Really kind of confused. It doesn't have any symptoms of a head gasket issue. I don't think that's what it is. I think maybe we have a air bubble in the coolant system. And so basically what we're gonna do today is we currently have water in this because we wanted to track it this fall, and we didn't want, if something happened, we didn't want there to be any mess on the track. So it's gonna be really easy to drain that out. But what we're gonna do is, I got a few friends that are using this VP Stay Frosty. So I want to try that out. It is completely safe, for tracks. Does not cause dangerous spills or slippery conditions. It's blended with high quality purified reverse osmosis water. So this is supposed to not only be water based, so it's good on racetracks, but it's supposed to help the engine run cooler. Personally, I don't think that's our issue, but I went ahead and I want to try it. I've always been interested in it, and so I decided we're going to try it. I got a new thermostat just in case. I like drilling a hole in these just to help with the whole, process that seemed to happen on these cars. I got a new cap, So one thing I can think of, it's either cap or thermostat. The cap that's on that car is the original one. It's old and cruddy, doesn't look good in the engine bay. So got a new cap from AC Delco. And then just in case, I don't think that sensor was reading accurately. This is the sensor, because it said it was cooled down enough, and I cracked open the radiator, and there's no way what the gauge said was accurate. That was in the engine. So just in case, I'm gonna throw a new sensor in it. And so I'm definitely excited to get this coolant out, or not coolant, water. Get this water out, throw the Stay Frosty in, drive this thing around. Man, it's been down since May. How crazy is that? It's just been absolutely wild around here. But now's the time to get this thing going. Unfortunately, right before winter time. But hey, that means it'll be ready for the spring. We can hit it heavy. Let's get after it. The next day, and unfortunately, I had to take a break because I drilled a hole in my finger. There's a Band-Aid on underneath it. So since it is the next day and I got something in the mail, boom! Yeah! Check this out! How rad is this gonna be in the garage? I haven't decided where I'm gonna put it yet. Get the rev line one over there on the shelf. Local import shop. I have a garage built racing one, but that thing is just massive, and so I don't know. I always wanted an Autofaze banner, so I'm stoked I got one, and let's actually get to working on this thing. I'm not sure how much I'm really gonna show because most of it's pretty simple, and I feel like you guys would just be bored. So do a quick overview, and then we'll start bleeding this thing. We'll start driving it, and I'm pretty stoked to get this bad boy back on the road. So another reason we went to Stay Frosty is that we actually signed up for our first drag and drive event. And we really don't drive this thing because nothing good happens under 32 degrees. Am I right? Midwest, it sucks. It's cold. No one wants to get out in their nice car. So it just makes sense. I mean, we have water in it now. So another reason why I went to Stay Frosty, instead of running like your traditional coolant, especially if something happens to the track, that's water based. So I'm stoked to do this. So basically we got thermostat, cap, we got coolant tip sensor, got to drain it. We need to drain the overflow, which is located on the passenger side. If you're not familiar with the build, I'll show that a little bit, and then we'll get started into firing this thing up. I can't wait to hear it. Doing the thermostat is super simple. It's just 2 bolts, pop out the housing, and install the thermostat. Old cruddy cap getting replaced, pretty self-explanatory. Our coolant temp sensor, super easy unplug. Take it out, put the new one in. Our drain, I hope I don't want to remove any piping. It is water after all, so I'm just gonna drain the radiator, and if it gets everywhere, it's water anyway, so who cares, right? Look at all these cobwebs. Like pretty pitiful travel, but man, that's decent for how low this thing is, like for real. It's actually working out pretty well. All right, there it is, draining the radiator overflow. After this is drained, you can button everything up and start bleeding the system. Fortunately, I got everything apart, but this still has the old school thermostat housing on it. And as you can see, I don't think they make replacements for this thermostat anymore. You have to buy like the whole new housing and stuff, and it's not wanting to focus. Of course not, because that's just how this is going. Anyway, basically it has this little lip that the thermostat holds onto. I got my glove off because I'm gonna have to do some searching. But as you can see here, this is a completely different style. Like this, it's not gonna work. So, yeah, that really stinks. So let's see if we can find one, get this thing going today. If not, it's gonna be like day 2, and I really just wanna, there's a couple nice days left of the fall here, and I was hoping to cruise this thing around for a little bit. Let's see what we can find. I already had O'Reilly's pulled up. They don't have the housing in stock, unfortunately. Call to order. If you need parts locally, tell me in the comment what your go-to is. Typically, I go O'Reilly's first, Advanced second, because they got the awesome coupon codes. And I typically get most of my batteries from Advanced. And then I do AutoZone last. Nowadays it's just better to get it from Rock Auto or Amazon, but who knows? Maybe we can have it here tomorrow. We'll just see. Advanced has the old school integrated style, which is kind of like this, but I already got a new thermostat, so if I can find the new housing that you just slip in there, that would be ideal. I hate wasting money, you know. So let's see what else they got. So they have this one, but man, that's 52 bucks. Are you kidding me? That's without tax. Man, let's see what AutoZone has. I never knew, honestly, that the LS1 had 2 different water jacket types. I assume, they sell both of them. But they don't sell replacement thermostats for the integrated one. You gotta buy the whole thing all together. So the integrated one's 20 bucks, right? Or you're probably assuming you just slap it in there and zip, zip, zoo. The other one you can actually replace. AutoZone has one, it's 35 bucks. So, but I get another, it's a Duralast. But anyway, if I can use the housing for that and use this Gates one, the one that I sacrificed my finger for, I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, we got it. Let's throw this thing in and see if we can fix this cooling issue. I can't believe I haven't heard this thing run since like June or May or something like that. So I think I might have found the problem. We went to Streetcar Takeover. The car ended up getting a pinhole in the radiator because the wastegate actually, there was a gap this far between the wastegate and the radiator, and it actually grew as we drove to Streetcar Takeover, and on speed bump, it ended up rubbing the radiator, right? So we ended up taking it back. Brad ended up putting a brace on it. It never moved since. But when we did that, I took everything apart. I think I might have swapped the fan plugs, because now the fans are pushing this way, so they're reversed. So I'm gonna. It's really hard to get in there, but I'm gonna swap. Wow, I'm out of breath. I'm gonna swap the plugs. I didn't want the car to overheat, so I acted quick. I'm gonna swap the plugs, start it back up, and see if that reverses, and the fans actually blow back towards the radiator now. Because as of right now, they're blowing towards the bumper. So super simple fix. It should work, and that should be it. So. Just stupid human error on my part. If Brad watches this, he's probably going to shake his head. I only owe you barbecue one time. This is not kind of the second time. I only got 2 gallons of the frost, and just in case, I'm going to mix it with some distilled water. Unfortunately, that low-speed fan now is a little bit warped. The high-speed fan is good, but it's when the car's running, you don't hear it. But as you heard it turn off, you know, it kind of makes a little bit of a noise. I'm hoping eventually that kind of clearances itself out. I think the car just got so hot because I was a freaking noob and hooked the plugs up wrong, and it just got too hot and it kind of warped the base of the fan just a little bit. So it just barely touches. I did have to run a little bit of distilled water. I thought, you know, 2 gallons of Frosty would be enough on this one, but you know, to get all that water out anyway, you gotta do it. I hope you probably hear the leaves in the background. You gotta drain it anyway and reflush it and do the full system. So obviously, it's not 100% of the Stay Frosty Race Ready coolant, which isn't a big deal, but unfortunately, it's under freezing, so we're gonna have to wait to drive it around. But this thing's absolutely ready to go. It's ready to rock. I'm excited. It was awesome to hear it. I can't believe such a simple mistake prevented us from enjoying it for the last 5 months, but I was just so busy, you know, doing the media side of Autofaze and not, you know, focusing more on the car side. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for kicking it. You know, we got a new thermostat on the thing, so we might as well. I mean, everything else is practically new, right? We do the coolant temp sensor, a new radiator cap, just because the old one kind of looked cruddy. You know, honestly, I don't mind the, I know I'll probably paint it, but I don't really mind the look of the bare, you know, the bare aluminum off for the water outlets. So let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.